Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh yeah.
Alright, so I got these, those, them. Alright, so I got these, those, them.
And we're live.
Hi.
Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
I'm Brian Williams, vocalist of Carrion Curse.
I'm John Michael, lead guitar, Carrion Curse.
So how do you guys get started?
That one to you.
Well, we formed in 2014 out of the remnants of two local bands that had disbanded, and I basically hit up the other guitar player, Freddie, and asked if he wanted to play some death metal, and he said sure. And so I had my drummer at the time from my old band, and we formed with members of like a band I was in with Freddie in like 2011, 2012. And basically out of that spawned the first incarnation of Carrion Curse. And we wrote the first record and released it in 2015 and started playing out shortly after. And basically went through member changes and wrote another record and just released it last year. And then we picked that guy up down here. We picked him up last year.
In August? Was it August?
Yeah, it was August.
Okay.
So how did you come up with the name of the band?
Oh man. That's I don't know how exactly I came to it, but it just kind of like came to me out of just different, I wanted it to have like a blackened death kind of feel, with like Carrion being like death metal and Curse being like black metal, like black spell, black magic kind of stuff. And basically I brought it to Freddie and the guys. I was like, what do y'all think of this as a band name? And they were cool with it. And luckily there's no other bands out there with that name that I know of. And when you search us on Google, we pop up.
So who got you into music in general?
Oh, personally, my influence, I guess, started from my mom, because she was like a biker hippie chick that played guitar, and so that spawned my love for music, getting introduced to the record player at a young age, and good old rock and roll.
I think when I was younger, my father played in a lot of local groups like rock and roll and all that stuff. He did a lot of AC/DC covers, and eventually, I think in the 4th grade, I heard girls like guitar players, so I was like, what the hell? And then eventually I had a cool that did like Pana and stuff, and I couldn't believe that you could do that on guitar. I just couldn't conceptualize it. And then eventually I come to learn that girls like guitar players that aren't death metal guitar players, but that's okay, because I prefer the guitar.
Dude, didn't your dad play with George Clinton?
Yeah, did I play with George Clinton or my father?
Your father.
Yeah, my father went on the road with George Clinton. He wasn't like in the band, but a good friend of his was. and I think that was in 2004. I believe he went. I think it was the East Coast. No, they went through Vegas too. So
Dude, your stuff sucks. It keeps cutting out.
did all kinds of crazy crap. You know, I mean, my father was he was pretty good about holding it down. So I guess when he finally got out to go have some fun, you know, he had fun.
What was the best advice you were ever given?
Was given, or is that what you asked? Was
Yes,
given?
what was given? Yes.
Go back to school.
Oh God, best advice I've ever been given. Uh, clean your room before you change the world. Ironically, my room is kind of a mess, but I think that's supposed to be in the vein of pick yourself up first so you can lead the way. And it sounds trivial and like, oh yeah, geez, that's so profound, but I really took it to heart, and it got me through some tough some tough times. So
It makes sense, especially when you get to be my age. You have to go through some things and like learn as a person, and then after you learn who you are, then you gotta like adapt to the environment around you and learn how to
yeah,
deal with that.
it's really weird because you know when I was younger, I mean, I'm still pretty young, but when I was younger, I never really considered myself like a stable person. And now I'm kind of the source of stability for a lot of people. And that's really weird for me. It's, I've got a lot of imposter syndrome with that. I'm like, what the, me? Seriously? Me? Wow. Man, you are screwed. But, you know,
Mm.
I've had success and I guess helped other people get out of some really terrible things. So it worked.
So what song do you think defines you as a person?
What song?
Yes.
Oh God, not
Oh man.
Carrion Curse. Any song?
Any song that
Well, my parents said when I was a child, my song was "Born to Be Wild," and I have pretty much lived up to that. Yeah, so I would have to go with that.
I think this is kind of obscure, but I was never super into lyrics. I've got a lot of appreciation for it, but I'm much more of an instrumentation guy. Njol, spelled Njol, from the Northerner Diaries by Jeremy Soule. He composed the Elder Scrolls soundtracks. So that's pretty much like a track that I have going in my brain like half the time.
Oh, cool, Necro, right, dude, that's our boy.
What's up, buddy?
Oh man, that's very kind words of him to say that. We
Yeah,
hung
it
out.
is.
Yeah, we hung out with him at the. He saw us at the death tribute in December, and we hung out.
Yeah,
Good.
we've got really cool fans, honestly.
Well, he's also the bassist in a band called Piss on Christ out of Tampa, and good dudes. We have yet to play a show together, but that we're gonna change that at some point soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
speaking of that, who would you want on your dream bill?
My dream bill.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it'd be Possessed and Cannibal Corpse. Oh man. Probably Malevolent Creation because we're friends with those dudes. Basically every death metal band from Florida, plus some of our other friends in Possessed, like, you know, Incantation, False Prophet. It'd have to be like a 3-day fest.
Okay. Can I choose acts that are no longer together or people that are deceased?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fair game. Okay.
Fair game.
Us, of course, Carrion Curse, because I'd like to play with these people. Pantera, because it got me into metal. We're Magonia, because they're just unbelievably epic synthwave. Jeff Loomis is a solo act, and Johann Sebastian Bach, because I love Bach.
So, what got you into death metal in general?
Oh, let's see. For me, starting up, I grew up on like classic rock and roll and oldies, and then I came across Metallica in the early to mid '90s, and from there, that kind of spawned my love for like hard rock music, and you know, I got into other stuff. And then when I was a freshman in high school, I had a good friend who was like a senior, and he would come and like scoop me up, and we'd go hang out because he could drive, and we'd go to shows and whatnot. But he got me into Slayer and Morbid Angel, and I guess the first time I heard Slayer Domination album, I was like, this is what I love. I like this right here. And from there, it just kind of spawned a love that basically rekindled. Like, you know, I went through a phase where I got into other music, but like in my about my mid-20s, I rekindled my passion for extreme and extreme metal and death metal and black metal and all that stuff. And so that's kind of like, you know, led me down the path to start Carrion Curse, because I was like, you know, Tallahassee doesn't have any old school death metal bands except for like one. So that led me to do that.
Yes, for me, most of what I listen to is not typically considered death metal in the classic sense, but yes, when I started playing guitar, you know, I was a little kid. I was 10. I was in the 4th grade, and I was into like Green Day and, you know, like some of those pop punk bands, which, you know, no shade or anything. That's not really my cup of tea now. But when I was about 12, my older brother dragged me into his car on Thanksgiving, and he put on a Pantera CD and a Death Clock CD, and I think Kill Switch Engage at the time. Which
So Jesse days or Howard days?
Howard days. I mean, all the love to Jesse. Yeah, I don't have anything but love for that man's music, but I'm partial to Howard.
There will
Sure.
always be that will always be a debate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, this one's better than the other, blah blah blah. But like for me, you know, it's like people have their Batman. You know, they're like, oh, Kevin Conroy, or mine's Michael Keaton, blah blah blah. Howard's
Kevin Conroy.
Animated series.
Oh,
yeah, man, that's better than you think it was. That's actually probably some of the most mature Batman material out
well, what I like about Kill Switch is even now to this day they'll still have both their singers come together from time to time and
they're like they're bros apparently. They're like, there's no feuding or weird crap, or you know, I know there's like a little bit of tension between like Chris Barnes and
Corpse Grinder.
Yeah, it's like you see stuff here and there, like shots lobbed the other way. Usually it's Chris Barnes, but with Howard and Jesse, it's clear there's tons of love between those two, and I'm glad to see Howard picking up the mic again. I know he left because he had a lot of health problems, but anyways, so my brother dragged me out of the car. Kill Switch Engage, Pantera, Death Clock. From there, I really got super into playing, fast and hard, and like I wanted to do all that crazy stuff. And then Metalocalypse, I started watching that, because I was like a massive Death Clock fan. But I was like 14, and I was like, man, this is my show. This speaks to me on a cultural level, and I felt like I was a part of something. And I'd always been almost a bit of an outcast when I was younger, and that made me feel like I belonged to something on a cultural level, and it stuck. It's never left me. I do tend towards more melodic things as opposed to more just straight brutality. Probably my favorite modern metal band as of recent is Ne Obliviscaris. And they're incredibly melodic. But, of course, I joined Carrion Curse because I still like that kind of stuff anyways. I think Carrion Curse is a great band, and I was a fan of Carrion Curse way before I joined.
That's true.
Yeah, I heard him say, I think someone mentioned it. It might have been your girlfriend, actually.
No, you were. I was watching old footage when we opened up for Gore Guts in like 2017, and you were in the audience with David like moshing.
Well, I knew who you guys were even before that, though.
But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I knew who you guys were. It was I listened to it. I'm like, wow, this is like real serious metal coming out of Tallahassee, Florida. I was kind of proud, actually. So, next question.
And this is gonna be a deep one.
Oh boy.
What do you want?
Ready to hear me not shut the hell up? I can't cuss.
So what do you want to leave as your legacy?
This band.
Music is pretty important to me, but I'm hoping to just be as decent a person as I can. I'm not perfect, and hopefully inspire others to do so. It doesn't have to be in my name, I don't care if people go on to be like, well, John Michael said about this, but I don't care about that. As long as hopefully my behavior inspires other people to be at least a little bit more decent and take charge of themselves just a little bit more. I'll be happy with that as my legacy, because the world is kind of a crazy and scary place. It's not so easy to know what to do all the time. It's like, I mean, really, what do you do? So yeah, that.
For me, I would joke and say, when I die on my tombstone, it's gonna say, "Check out my band," and then it's gonna have like a QR code underneath, so you can come visit, pay your respects, pull your phone out, and it'll like pull up our Spotify or something, and be like, at the wake, my girlfriend will be all teary-eyed, but he really wanted you to check out his band.
See, yours is way less pretentious than mine. I wanted to be burned on the Ganges River in India.
It's not
yours
too late.
Is way less pretentious.
I'll probably get cremated.
It happens.
I want a Darth Vader death, really. Like,
I'll take being
bonfire and have some Ewoks around and set me on fire.
I'll take being burned and having my ashes turned into soil for growing curry plants. Yeah, because I eat ridiculous amounts of curry. All right.
So, what is your main goal with your band? Where do you want to? Where do
Um,
you?
Really, the main goal is to just be a band, put out music, play shows. I'm trying to get us to a point where we can actually leave our state. It's kind of it takes a lot of money, and you know, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, and then if you want to take it on the road, it's going to be that and then some. So basically, yeah, the plan is we're gonna put another album out and try and get like a vehicle that we can tour in and try and set up a tour. Try and come up your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm so used to doing everything by myself. Um, it
I'm so
was
used to doing everything.
when they asked me to join, it was like it's kind of I was kind of taken aback almost because I've been used to doing stuff so long by myself it just didn't really cross my mind. But I think for me it's a chance to be a part of something just a little bit bigger than my own thing that I have going on. And I've been asked to join bands around Tallahassee before, and for the most part, I didn't do it. I hate to say it because I just didn't really believe in it. And I'm sure the people in those bands were lovely, and I don't have anything really against them. But you know, Carrion Curse was like, I was like, man, that's a serious band, and they've got serious music, and I feel like I can get along with these guys like bros. That like there's some camaraderie there, and I'm like, okay, I can be a part of this. This is something I can throw my weight behind. So I'm hoping as a team, uh, we'll just do something decent and contribute in a good way to the wealth of frankly fantastic music that's coming out right now. I know everyone's down. Modern metal is so crappy. I'm like, man, you don't know where to look. There's more stuff coming out than you can possibly even consume in a lifetime, and so much of it is just incredible stuff, really innovative. Um, like if you think it's all crap, like you're either too cynical or you just don't know where to look, man. So I'm hoping we can be one of those people that releases the good stuff into that pool of good stuff that's being released.
What is your favorite song to play live?
Of ours, dang,
Mm.
favorite. It changes all the time, man. Um, Probably Keeper or well, Keeper. I really like playing. Death State as well. Uh, I like playing Blood Eagle too. Like, I mean, really, like those first two, Keeper and Death State, are probably like my two favorite at as of now. But I'm starting this new song that we just wrote last practice is gaining. So
I'd probably say Blood Eagle for me because I like to move around on stage. Um, you know, like I don't want to be like I'm in the bedroom, do 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 do, like that. And Blood Eagle is it just gets you pumping. You can move around, you can sling your head, you can really hype up the crowd and just get them into it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Blood Eagle. Close second, Keeper of Realms. Least favorite, What I don't know if I should do this.
I am possessed.
Well, okay, so I love I Am Possessed as a song. I don't enjoy playing I Am Possessed because Freddie wrote that, and of course, I'm way more left hand dominant when it comes to my guitar playing. You know, I'm more of a lead guy. I listen to Dimebag Darrell and Jeff Loomis and all those guys, the crazy lead players. And Freddie, man, he just with his right hand, he's just ridiculous.
And
I
then
don't
you
say that in a
go like this, go wee 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 wee.
yeah, really. I don't say that in a disparaging way. I've got all the respect in the world for that, but like, I gotta really warm up for I Am Possessed sometimes. Otherwise, I feel like I'm gonna get freaking tennis elbow. If I don't warm up when we're playing live, I'm like, struggling. Freddie's just so ridiculous with his right hand. So yeah, that's two favorites, and I guess a least favorite to play live.
Instead of right said Fred, it's right hand Fred.
Too sexy for my pick.
So when is your next show?
We actually play next Saturday here in town in Tallahassee for a big local showcase. It's like an all-day event from 3 to midnight, and we take the stage at 7:30.
Where is that located at?
It's at the Warrior on the River, on the edge of town on Tallahassee, off of Highway 90, heading towards Midway, right at the bridge, right at the county line on the river.
Who else is on that bill?
Local band. Oh man, let me pull up the flyer.
There's a lot, man.
The local band Core reunited after like almost 10 years of being, or maybe even more since they've been together. Then we got Trial by Stone, another local band. These are all locals, really. Fighting Giants, which has our former drummer in their band. The Retrograde, Falls Chase, Remexis, Ember Fading, Tragic, This Dying Breed, and more. There's like a total of like 14
And more.
bands.
What if there's actually a band called And More? That would confuse so many promoters.
We're called TBA.
What does it stand for? To be announced.
We're called Free Beer. There will be free beer and food provided at this show too through our sponsors of the event. So
yeah, I love the band Free Beer.
They're my favorite.
They're my favorite.
So yeah, we're gonna have a fun time next weekend, and then our next show after that will be at the end of April at the same venue.
Same venue.
Yeah. We got the Jacksonville Metal Fest in June 24th. I'd have to check on the calendar, but yeah, at the end of June we're playing Jacksonville Metal Fest, and then we're gonna play Tampa Extreme Fest in October. So some shows here and there, but mainly we want to work on writing some new music and get a new record going.
So what exactly is your writing process?
Well,
Well,
this past song and a lot of our songs, usually Freddie has a pre-written song structure that he brings to the table, which I then take to the board and write it out, riff by riff. So we have like a structure. And then if there's like holes or if there's ideas that come across, I will bring it to the band's attention. For instance, this past song, he left a section out so that John Michael could write it. And so we worked on that. We got to that section. John Michael wrote a cool little part for the song. We then threw that in and then basically worked around that to get the song. We left all bass playing and drumming ideas up to the musicians themselves, and it's basically learn Freddie's riffs, tweak it a little bit to make it ours, and then go with it. And that's kind of how it worked for that one. I'm sure when we approach one of John Michael's songs, it might be a little different, or
Yeah,
it's one of the cross that
I'm
bridge when we get
usually
there.
used to writing by myself, so I'm interested to see how things are going to work out with the whole band because of course part of the reason I want to be in a band is to contribute writing material. Otherwise, I'm just a hired gun, which nothing wrong with that, but I would like to do more with my time and investment. So usually, what I do is I, my musical ideas and processes are almost reminiscent of like classical composers because I listen to that stuff a lot, and I'm pretty crazy on the music theory side of things, and so I'll pull up an instance of Guitar Pro because it's it's like sheet music 2.0, and I'll tab out a bunch of riffs and stuff and write that way, and I've come up with some stuff that I really like. Typically, it's a bit more melodic than I think would fit for Carrion Curse, so I'm gonna try something different to come up with material for this and switch it up and throw me into a different mindset and hopefully get a little bit different results. I don't I don't want every riff that I do to sound like, or I don't want every riff that I do in Carrion Curse to sound like the John Michael solo project. I want it to sound like Carrion Curse. So we'll see how this goes.
Did you take music theory?
Me, did I take music theory?
Yeah.
No, I took a couple of lessons with someone that typically plays like bluegrassy type of stuff when I was 16 with a guy named Mickey Abraham, who's excellent musician, and he's a sweet guy. Of course, he had that talk. He's like, yeah, I used to be really into metal too, and I eventually grew out of it. I don't think I'm growing out of it, but he taught me like probably the foundations of building blocks of music theory, and then from there, I was just kind of obsessed. I taught myself guitar. I had like one lesson to start, and then everything. My dad showed me things here and there, but pretty much I was just super motivated to learn it on my own because we were kind of broke. We couldn't shell out money for lessons constantly, so I just dug in, man. I'd sit for hours scrawling on notebooks, connecting the dots with scales and like chord patterns and like noticing, how things work between keys and like key pivots and all of that sort of stuff. And I don't regret it at all. It helps a lot. I don't use music theory as like a base to write from. I'm not like, I'm in the key of F and I'm going to use a 6-3-2-5 chord progression structure and blah, blah, blah. But I don't do that. Some people do that, and, different people have different success with that. I don't do that. But when I do come up with something that I like and I'm trying to flesh out and develop the idea, it really helps because I can analyze in detail the theme or the motif or the idea, and I can maybe like switch it and change it into like a minor theme later on down the road for a different song to kind of give it a feel of continuation or something, or slow it down or change the chord progression or whatever. It helps a lot. It helps a lot.
I was in band from 6th grade to 11th grade, and I played French horn for that time. And I was also in marching band, so I know a little bit about music.
Just a little.
You ever think of adding the French horn to your stage show or anything?
I mean, I have thought about it in the past, but if I was to do something like that with our band, I'd get funny looks from my bandmates.
Hey man, I'm up for it. I wrote a personal song that's the intro is just one long horn drone. I mean, it's supposed to sound kind of eerie. I don't know if it's not a French horn, but
the coolest intro that I ever heard with like trumpet type music was like the beginning of this Nile album. It starts with an I, but it's got like this crazy like it's like a marching type like boom 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 boom.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And then it has like the trumpets like and then it comes over the drums, and then the drums like come in and it's like like fast double bass. Dun, 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 dun,
man, I love that kind of stuff. I love it.
But yeah, that it would have to be something on that kind of level to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely. Like some Lord of the Rings stuff or something like that. Like the orcs are marching in.
Yeah, some stuff like that.
Did you always know you wanted to play music?
Yep. From about 4th grade.
Yeah, I think it was the same for me, 4th grade. I just, I know a lot of people in my life assumed that I would grow into not being quite as obsessed with it. But that's for posers. I'm a real broke person. I don't give up on my dreams.
Starving artist over here.
Oh yeah. Well, don't look at me. I'm definitely not starving.
I'm definitely not an artist.
Yeah. I'm not starving or an artist. What are you talking about?
All right, last supper scenario here.
All right.
Who's your 12 people?
Like friends and family, or like 12 people, like our disciples, our followers, like
Disciples.
Elaborate. Oh, buddy.
12?
I don't. That's hard. That's a really difficult question. Who would our 12 disciples be? For the band, or for like, is this a personal question, or is this like
Personal.
our 12? Oh, okay.
So you're 12, his 12.
Gotcha. Well, he's definitely on my list.
Yeah.
As well as like all the other members of the band. So that's like 4 right there.
Yeah, that eats up 4 slots.
My girlfriend and probably her 2 children. So that's 7. Probably then my brother, his girlfriend and son. So that's 10. So that's 2 left. My cousin Matt, and probably but my cousin Matt and my cousin Mike. That's my 12. Close,
So
close people.
okay. So of course, the kids, their mother, right? So that's 4, and then of course, gotta have the band, gotta have your band. So that's 8,
Another 4. Yeah.
and then of course, man, my father, because me and my old man are really tight. He's my best friend. All right, so I guess that's 9. Uh, then I choose
David.
my three closest friends, which are David, David, Jacob, and Sabrina.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's 12. Ding ding ding. he said
that's
12. He said 12. I'm like, crap. That's a lot of people.
that's a lot of people, but surprising how many people you know.
I'm a little shocked that you didn't put any musicians on there. Except for yourselves.
Well, like I was a little stumped by the question. I didn't know if you meant like all the. I mean, I guess like the way I look at it, all the musicians I look up to, I would be their disciple. I don't think they would be mine.
Yeah. I was thinking like maybe Jordan Peterson, but like that's someone that I look up to.
Maybe Ronnie Palmer, the drummer in Malevolent Creation, because we're like bros and stuff. He gave me my cat.
I guess I'm lucky enough to be friends with some of my favorite musicians. Anyways, I don't know if I'd consider us disciples of one another, more so peers. I mean, the guys from Haunted have been just really gracious to me in particular, and of course, I'm sure they've been good with the rest of the Carrion Curse guys, but I'm relatively new. I haven't even been in this band a year, and when I started playing these shows with those guys, they were just very loving and gracious, and not pretentious or nasty at all. They were really sweet to me, and I've never really been a part of the scene. I've always locked myself in my bedroom, put on records, and that was my musical experiences. So disciples, I don't know about that, but I've got a lot of love and appreciation for a lot of those guys, especially Haunted. So shout out to you guys if you're watching.
Dude, he's our good luck charm. Since he joined the band, we got to share the stage with Terry Butler twice.
Yes, so, that is true.
Like, to many more.
many more. Hopefully I don't butcher more of my solos. So you said I don't mess up my solos, which I thought was funny, because I'm like, I think that I mess them up every time, but maybe I mess them up so consistently that you think that that's how they're supposed to sound.
Yeah, maybe. But if
they were, keep screwing them up.
If they were trash, I would tell you, man. Like, yes. Hey, dude, you need to pick up your trash.
I'm pretty tough on myself as far as all of that stuff goes. I really like. I guess you could describe it as athletic guitar players. I like fast stuff, I like. I mean, I prefer Jeff Loomis to Yngwie Malmsteen if we're going with that sort of direction. But I like
What
Yngwie
about
too.
Steve Vai?
Yeah, Steve Vai is someone that I have a serious appreciation for, and he's so many of the people that I listen to would not do what they do without Steve Vai, and that's just undebatable. I don't listen to him tons. He's incredibly innovative. I have a lot of appreciation and respect for him and what he's contributed to music and the world of guitar playing. Um, I like Tosin Abasi a lot, a lot. Keith Marrow, man, he's not like the shreddiest of shreddy shred, but that guy writes just evil riffs. And I would go so far as to say he is my favorite songwriter in the metal genre. It's, I, my mind is blown every time he puts out more material. So there's that. Let's see.
Forget Steve Vai, man. It's all about Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. What about Michael Romeo or Vinnie Moore? Vinnie Moore is a freaking killer player, man. Oh my god! And it's like he reminds me of Bach in a way because you can like hum along to it, to the melodies in his songs, but it's like they're fast and they're crazy, but they're not without substance. Greg Howe, he's not really a metal player, but he's just a really innovative lead player that does a lot of interesting things with melody that you'd never think. Django Reinhardt. I mean, what can you say about Django Reinhardt? Without Django Reinhardt, there is no Tony Iommi. He said he was gonna quit after the accident with his fingers, and he heard Django Reinhardt because Django Reinhardt burned 2 of his fingers, and so without Django Reinhardt, there is no metal as we know it today, unless people were inspired so much by Coven that they.
What about Jimi Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix, yes. Okay, so the thing about Jimi Hendrix is, I consider him more of a writer or an improviser rather than a great guitar player.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh boy. I should.
Yeah, you're about to get a lot of heat.
I'm about to get in trouble. Okay, so
elaborate. Elaborate.
I've always said this. As far as Jimi Hendrix goes, Jimi Hendrix had an absolutely massively profound impact on music as we know it today. And I don't just mean rock and roll and metal. He's become an absolute icon of musical culture, from rock and roll and metal to even like pop and rap and stuff. And he was incredibly innovative, especially for the time. As far as the guitar playing goes, kind of sloppy. I'm not gonna lie, but still, I mean, I don't really care if you can play perfectly in tune with a metronome at like 800 BPM and blah blah blah, and like never miss a note, or it's all perfectly muted. Like, don't get me wrong, I love that stuff. But if that was the only thing that mattered to me, I wouldn't spend half of my time listening to orchestral music. So, is Jimi Hendrix one of the greats? Yes. I just don't put him on the wall of greats as far as guitar playing in specific is concerned.
All right, then give me your top 5 then.
Top 5? Ooh, man. Okay,
You-
Dimebag Darrell is, my number one because that's, he inspired me to really get into that realm of guitar playing. It's number 2, Jeff Loomis for sure for me. And not only is he just a ridiculously crazy epic lead guitar player and songwriter, but he is also a super sweet guy. Very, very approachable. Number 3 would have to be Brendan Small. He wrote all the Metalocalypse stuff.
I kind of figured that's where that was going.
Well, I know people like kind of glance over that stuff. They're like, "Oh, it's just like silly music for the show." I'm like, "No, dude, guy's a Berkeley graduate. Like, go listen to the music. It's really good metal."
But it
I'd
is
have
kind of
to-
silly.
Huh?
But it is kind of silly.
Well, yeah, it's silly on purpose, but it's still really good metal. I guess 4. I'd have to throw Marty Friedman in there. Marty Friedman is just. I mean, what can you say about the guy that hasn't already been said? It's like, is he just a traditionally fast metal guitar player? Like, no, I relate to the guy so much because he's not straightforward with it. He does what I do, which is listen to a lot of other almost obscure things. He listens to a lot of Japanese music. Now he's lived in Japan for 20 years after Megadeth. And he'd try to come up with weird, exotic, intricate things to throw in there to kind of spice it up, so it's not just the same crap over and over and over and over and over again. Then I guess the last one for me would be Django Reinhardt. Was shredding way before Van Halen was on the scene, or even Al Di Meola, which, rest in peace, and much respect to Van Halen and Al Di Meola, and those guys are incredible, and I love listening to them. But if it wasn't for Django Reinhardt, I don't think that stuff exists. And besides the fact that it's even in modern terms, it holds up. It's good to listen to. So that's my not so traditional Mount Rushmore of guitar players.
So, what is your top 5 vocalists?
Vocalists. Ooh, wait, was that?
Well,
That
Corpse
was for him.
Grinder would be number 1. Yeah.
Oh,
Corpse
yeah.
Grinder would be number 1. Then Travis Ryan. Then guy, I can't pronounce his last name, from the Red Chord. Let's see. That's 4. And then I'd probably end it off with and we only get 5.
Yep. I gave him 5. You got 5.
Man. I hate to say it, but Chris Barnes, man. as much as of a guy he is,
Man,
he's
people
still very.
can get lost giving you crap for that. Like, I know everyone is like dogpiling on Chris Barnes, and whether or not he deserves it is another conversation. But like,
He was influential on.
Yeah, he was incredibly influential, and like people make mistakes and say stupid stuff sometimes. So like, lay off my boy.
Stupid things like Jimi Hendrix is not a good guitar player.
I didn't say it wasn't a good guitar player. I said he wasn't a great guitar player. But I don't think I'm a great guitar player either.
So leave in the comments what you feel about Jimi Hendrix, guys.
Yes, do it.
Yes. Roast me alive. I know that the hate's already coming.
All right, I do this every episode. I'm going to flip it around. You can ask me a couple questions.
Okay.
When did you start going to rock and metal shows?
I'm going to have to say 97, 98.
Right on.
Something around that area.
For me, it was 99 seeing Mastodon.
Oh, that's a good one.
When they first came out, when they actually had like a vocalist in the band, and the dude had dreads in the Flying V guitar. I was like 14 and got to see them. But, you ask a question, bud.
See, I want to do the traditional like, what's your favorite band? Like, who's your favorite player? When did you start? Blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I'm sure he's answered that one before. How about this? Who's your favorite Batman?
My favorite Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one to answer here.
It is a hard one to answer.
I'm gonna go with the Saturday morning cartoon Batman.
I mean, with Batman the animated series or the
like the one that was on Scooby Doo.
Like the animated.
Like, you know how Batman was on Scooby Doo? Is that the same Batman you're talking about?
No, those aren't the same.
Oh, you're talking about the ones in the 90s that we'd come home and watch on.
Yes.
That had with like Clayface, the giant clay monster dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Kevin Conroy, and that is, that's a really good candidate for best one.
That was a really good show growing up.
That was the first time he had been like they had gone in and did like serious in-depth writing and like mature subject material.
Mark Hamill did the Joker.
Yeah, for something other than the comics themselves, because before then the serious subject material had always been reserved for the comics, and all the other media didn't have any depth to it. And
there really wasn't that much media back then at all.
Yeah, that Batman media covered so much really mature subjects. Good pick. I like your pick.
All right. Another question. Were you surprised LA won the Super Bowl?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither. They got home. I really wanted the Cincinnati Bengals to win. They deserve it. But that was an easy question for me. Your turn.
My turn. Let's see. Coming up with stuff. Why do you want to interview musicians?
More it shines the light on people that probably wouldn't be noticed. By me doing what I do, it just trying to help the scene more.
Contribute to the community.
you know,
Right
I'm
on.
worldwide. So yeah, I'm trying to help the little guy.
I'm so little.
Noble effort. I mean, I'm only little from like a vertical standpoint, but I'm kind of wide.
It just gets worse the older you get, bro.
Oh man, we're both we could both stand to lose a couple pounds.
I'm working on it. I'm on
I
a
know.
diet. I'm on a diet. Getting my daily workout in.
So last question of the night.
All right.
What message do you want to leave your fans?
Peace, love, and death metal, man. Scary music and ghosts and stuff, boo.
Message I want to leave the fans. Slava Ukraini.
That too.
That's the message I want to leave.
So where can you guys be followed?
You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube. Just put our name in Google, and you can find all our websites and links to buy our stuff. We're on Spotify, all the streaming platforms, Apple Music, wherever. We're pretty much, you can find us.
Yeah, come point and laugh at our music, guys. It's really bad.
We even have merch on Amazon as well as our music. So if you want to snag a T-shirt like such as this is a shirt that you can find on Amazon.
If you hate us, you can wear it ironically.
And we also have other merch on our website at carrioncurse.com. So, and music as well.
I'd like to thank you guys for your time and have a great night, guys.
Likewise.
Thanks for having us, Rob. Appreciate you.
Much appreciated.